Good morning, guys. Welcome to my crypto YouTube channel. Just another update. Please check the link down below in the description for a free $50 plus $100. So a total of $150. The first 50 are given to you just for signing up, and half of that goes to any charity that you choose to on the website, on the bank, and the other $100 is obtained by just doing a direct deposit simply into the account. So check it out if you want, and thanks a lot, guys. Let's get into the video. So today I kind of want to just discuss my cryptocurrency holdings and what is in my portfolio. I'm not going to go into specific amounts of currencies. I don't want to disclose how much I have of each, but you can say there's definitely over 10,000 in the portfolio, much more than that. But I just want to start there. So just given these numbers, this is kind of how the breakdown goes. I have 35% of my portfolio in Cardano. I think this is a very strong buy. We saw it hovering at about 3 cents back in December, and now it's at about 8. I hit all-time high of 10 earlier this year. I think it was in May when the first Bitcoin bull run kind of took off. So I really like this project. I recommend you check it out. It's available on the Ledger Nano S, and they have a great system going. And I think they're partnering now a lot in Asia. I saw a lot of partnerships going around even yesterday. So every day you see new news about Cardano. It's a great project. So I'd really recommend buying that one. Again, this is not financial advice to anybody, as simply my recommendations and what I currently own in my portfolio. So yes, the majority of my holdings are in Cardano. 35%. Next is Bitcoin. So I bought Bitcoin at around the $4,000 level, and I bought just a little bit of Bitcoin. I think a little bit less than half of a Bitcoin, and then the next day it had spiked, and this was kind of a moment where I was just like, we were seeing some prices rise, and I told myself, I just got to get in now. And I'm glad I made the decision, because the next day it went to 5,300 in just a couple hours, and it hasn't gone back down since. So I'm really happy I got my allocation there. Bitcoin, it's an interesting one. It's definitely the king of all cryptos, but it certainly has its problems. It's become a very high cost kind of asset, and it's takes a long time, and it has a lot of issues in terms of sending and just the whole spiel itself. But it is the most accepted so far, and I still think it will, be one of the ones that is around in the future, but I'm not sure if it can live up to these projects. I try to invest in projects that are still young and a little bit better, more application and more advanced in technology. So that gets into my next one, XRP. 30% of my holdings are in XRP. It is, I think, one of the best crypto assets you can own, although it kind of defeats the purpose of cryptocurrency because it's not decentralized. It still has a ton of utility in terms of the long-term prospect of this project. Ripple has over 660 partnerships with different banks and entities across the world. I think they just recently partnered with the Bank of England. And I mean, the project's just going haywire. I really recommend buying some if you have a chance. At the 41% price mark right now, I bought it around 29 cents, and should have bought some more. I regret it now, but at the same time, I'm very comfortable with what I'm holding. But in general, I really recommend XRP. It's one of my favorite ones, and we could see people are talking about price points in the 100 plus range, which would be insane. Even if it were to hit $5 or $10, you'll make pretty well if you have enough allocated right now. So that's one of my favorite ones. Elastos, 20% of my portfolio in Elastos, kind of just another altcoin that I wanted to kind of shift most of my, after the bear market of 2018, I wanted to shift a lot of my holdings into more secure assets. So that's why I have 75% of my assets in Cardano, Bitcoin, and XRP. These are top 10, top 12 coins, and I'm looking for more stability and growth in terms of my next run. Now, of course, some of the altcoins can have remarkable growth, 1,000, 2,000x, even 10,000x sometimes, which is ridiculous. So I wanted to kind of keep it minimum and keep the risk down a little bit in this run. Because I think that crypto is going to go to the moon, and you don't know the timing of when alts will go to zero. So I want to play it safe, but I do have 20% in Elastos. I think it's a great project. Certainly it reaps a lot of merit, and they're doing some big things in terms of just their application, creating a new smart internet, and it's, they're starting to expand, and I see a lot of application and utility for some projects on using this blockchain in the future, and they're already making big strides. So I like this project. I think it's kind of an unknown. It's still not on many exchanges, so we could see some major growth when it lists on, I guess, a Binance or a Coinbase, if that's possible, in the future. I don't see it happening in the near term, but certainly. So that one has a lot of potential. It's one of the better alts that is not currently available on too many exchanges. Right now you can buy it on Huobi, I think, and I think one other one, but it's not very easy to buy. And lastly, Deep Brain Chain, DBC. I have about 5% of my holdings in this one. I put a lot of faith in it back in 2018, and I had bought into it in, I guess, April 2018, when it was about 12 cents, and the price had dipped to 0.0015 cents or something like that, 0.015. So, or less. So it's really taken about a 99% dip. It's one of the biggest losers of 2018, but also probably the biggest gainer. The all-time high for DBC is 60 cents. So imagine a multiple of going from 1/10 of a cent all the way to 60 cents. It would be enormous. It would be like a 10,000% or more increase. So I put a little bit more in when it was about 0.0015 cents, and not too much, just a little bit. So I'm not really, this one could definitely be, it's a flyer, certainly, but I think that it's important to have it in the portfolio as a hedge in terms of potential extreme growth. If there is a bull market and it catches fire before it potentially goes to zero, it could be one of the ones that makes it, but I highly doubt it, personally, just because there's so much skepticism surrounding NEO. But in general, I do hold 5% of my holdings in DBC, just as a kind of a gamble, honestly, and maybe it'll pay off. And if it does, it wasn't too much of an investment, and it could return to like a couple $100,000 if the project does hit its all-time high or greater. So those are my holdings. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and feel free to let me know if you are into any big projects or even some small altcoins, and if you think there's potential there. I mean, there's so many out there, so I'd love to hear your feedback. And thanks a lot, guys. Much appreciated. Don't forget to like and subscribe.